Hey, we're on the porch on a rainy afternoon, spring rain day. It looks like we're getting probably flooded here in Baton Rouge. Not flooded, but heavy water. Some of our schools are closed. So let's read on the porch, Canto 6. We are now in gluttony. That's one of our new words. How many of you know what gluttony is? It's a kind of old fashioned word that we don't use too much anymore. It's it means you indulge in eating. You eat too much. You eat beyond your satiation. You eat more than you need. So again, this is from Gutenberg.org, and it is in the copyright-free reading. So I don't want to lose another channel. And I've put the link into Best Tutor Friend in my Instagram. Let me know if you don't mind in the comments below if you have trouble finding the channel. I'm hoping as I continue to put out content, it'll get easier and easier to find. But that's why I would encourage you to subscribe so you can find me more easily, and go over to my Instagram to get notifications too when I'm going live. Um, I want you to be here. I want us to learn together. I've also included some vocabulary in the dialogue box below and a synopsis of this Canto 6. So let's read. When I regained my senses, which had fled at my compassion for the kindred too. So what do you think that means? He came to, he was back in his right mind because he'd been so overcome by the love story of these ill-fated lovers, which for pure sorrow quite had turned my head. New torments and a crowd of sufferers new I see round me as I move again. So he's in the next level. Wherever I turn, wherever I bend my view, in the third circle am I of the rain, which heavy, cold, eternal, big with woe, doth always of one kind and force remain. So this third level of hell is this dreary storm, just a horrible storm. Large hail and turbid water mixed with snow keep pouring down athwart the murky air, and from the ground they fall on stenches grow. So it's stinky, it's cold, it's hail, it's miserable weather. The savage Sarah. Now I had this. I always had this trouble when I taught Greek mythology. Cerberus. I'm sure I've still said it wrong. And he's the three-headed monster. A monster drear howls from his threefold throat with canine cries above the people who are whelmed there. I want you to take notice of some of this alliteration. That is threefold throat, canine cries. Notice you've got repetition, you've got adjectives, you've got imagery. So if your teacher's asking you to find some literary devices that are being used, you've got examples of all those. So make sure you're annotating as you go. Above the people who are whelmed there, oily and black his beard and red his eyes. He's describing the dog. His belly huge, claws from his fingers sprout. The shades he flays, hooks. And if you look at my Instagram, you'll see a picture of the three-headed monster. And I think if I were a teacher, this would be, and you were an artistic student, I'd say, draw this scene for me because it's full of imagery. Beat by the rain, these dog-like yelp and shout and shield themselves in turn with either side. And oft the wretched sinners turn about. When we by Cerberus, great worm, were spied, he oped his mouths, plural, and all his fangs he showed, while not a limb did motionless abide. My leader, having spread his hands abroad, filled both his fists with earth taken from the ground, and down the ravening gullets flung the load. Then as sharp set with hunger barks the hound, but is appeased when at his meat he gnaws, and worrying it forgets all else around. So with those filthy faces, there it was of the fiend Cerberus, who deafs the crowd of souls till they from hearing fain would pause. Fain would be like would not pause. We traveling o'er the spirits who lay cowed, and surely by the grievous sowers harassed, upon their semblances of bodies trowed, prone on the ground, the whole of them were cast. Save one of them who sat, save in this language means except. Save one of them who sat upright with speed, when he beheld that near to him we passed. O thou who art through this inferno led, me if thou canst, he asked, me, recognize, for ere I was dismantled, thou wast made. And I to him, thy present tortured guise, perchance hath blurred my memory of thy face, until it seems I never on thee set eyes. I don't see thee, don't see you. But tell me who thou art within this place, so cruel set, exposed to such pain, than which, if greater, none has more disgrace. And he, thy city, swelling with the bane of envy, till the sack is running o'er. Me in the life serene did once contain, as Siaco, me your citizens named of yore, and for the damning sin of gluttony, there it is, it's identified. I, as thou seest, am beaten by this shower. No solitary woeful soul am I, for all of these endured the same self-same doom for the same fault. Here ended his reply. I answered him, O Siaco, with such gloom my misery weighs me, I to weep am prone. We don't speak that way. I want to cry. I tend to be a crier. But if thou canst, declare what shall come the citizens of the divided town. Holds it one just man? Is there even one good man here? And declare the cause why 'tis of discord such a victim grown. Then he to me, after contentious pause, contentious means fighting, they're kind of griping at each other. Contentious pause, where do we go? It's so easy to lose my place one of the tablet. Guys, where did contentious go? Boorish party, contentious pause, blood will be spilt. The boorish party, boorish is to be kind of awkward. Then will chase the others forth with grievous loss. The former it behooves to fall again within 3 suns, the others to ascend. Holpen by him whose wiles ere now are plain, long time with heads held high, they'll make to bend. The other party under burdens dire, howe'er themselves in tears and rage they spend. There are 2 just men at whom none inquire, envy and pride and avarice. Even these are the 3 sparks have set all hearts on fire. With this the tearful sound he made to cease, and I to him, yet would I have thee tell, and of thy speech do thou the gift increase. Ticaio and Farinata, Honorable James Rusticucci, and Mosca. Now, I don't know any of these references, so sorry. I mean, they're all cited here, so you can look them in the footnotes. Mosca, Arrigo, with all the rest so studious to excel. In good, where are they? Help me this to know. Great hunger for the news hath seized me, delights them heaven or tortures hell below. He said, among the blackest souls they be, them to the bottom ways, another sin. Shouldst thou so far descend, thou mayest them see. And when the sweet world thou again dost win, I pray thee bring me among men to mind. Hello! Brazil was fabulous, of course. Tudo bem? It was Tudo. It was Tudo Gia. No, Tudo bang. Yeah, Tudo bang. Everything was great. And I hope to go again in January. And thank you for being here. It's so great to see somebody live again. He bowed, then fell flat among the other blind. Henceforth he waketh not, my leader said, till he shall hear the angel's trumpet sound, ushering the hostile judge. By every shade its dismal sepulchre, which is like grave, shall then be found. Its flesh and ancient form it shall resume, and list what echoes in eternal round. So past we were the shades and rainy spume, made filthy mixture, with steps taken slow, touching a little on the world to come. Wherefore, I said, Master, shall torments grow after the awful sentence hath been heard, or lesser prove and not so fiercely glow? Repair unto thy science, was his word, which tells as things approach a perfect state to keener joy or suffering they are stirred. Therefore, all this people cursed by fate ne'er find perfection in its full extent. To it they then shall more approximate than now. Our course we round the circle bent, still holding speech, of which I nothing say, until we came where down the pathway went. There found we Plutus, the great enemy. Cerberus, the Greek mythology, is the watchdog of the underworld. I was trying to see who some of these. Chiaco perceives by the weight of Dante's thread that he is a living man. Siaco was apparently known for eating out. from the Decameron, which is another great work of art. What I think is interesting is each one of these levels just focuses on one sin. But, if we talk about doing wrong, all of us do more than one thing wrong. So is that your primary sin? Is that the thing you struggle that you can't overcome? Is that the thing you didn't ask for forgiveness for? Why is just the focus on one particular sin? Because I've never known anybody that was perfect in every other way, but they had this just one fatal flaw. And that was kind of a concept of the Greeks, that fatal flaw, that one thing, the Achilles tendon in Achilles, that one thing that brought about your undoing. So that was Canto 6. Make sure you're annotating. Make sure you're, I hope you're reading the same version I'm in, because you're completely lost if you're reading a different version. But maybe this will still help. There are better translations. I like a different translation. I used to teach from a different translation, but this is the one that's not under copyright. And I'm trying to stay out of trouble this time. So if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it if you do. Engage with the channel however you can. I was gone all weekend, went to see some great friends in DC, and it was just really a special time. So I didn't read, but I'm going to try and get my reading in this week. And then I've got my kids coming home, so I will be spending time with them. Who knows if I'll have time to read then or not. But either way, thanks for being here, and I will read to you next time. See ya.